How to paint on silk with black gutta. Hi there, this is Teena Hughes of howtopaintonsilkdotcom. Today I'm going to talk about using black gutta or black outliner, and these are just some of the products that you will need when you're painting. You can see dyes, brushes, a whole range of fabulous things. So, your list for today is soft paint brushes for silk, white silk to paint on, silk dyes or paints, frame to stretch your silk on, and the black outliner or gutta. So you need to mix your black outliner if it hasn't already been done. You may of course be buying pre-prepared, so if you're mixing your own black outliner, read the instructions carefully. Sometimes you need to mix a few hours in advance or sometimes overnight. If you're using pre-prepared outliner in a tube or a squeeze bottle, you're all set to go. If you're using my seaweed outliner, please follow my easy instructions. The outliner needs to be in a tube or a squeeze bottle for greater control whilst drawing. So, what to do next? Attach the white silk to a frame. I prefer push pins, as shown in this photo. Easier to push in and to remove. Of all the ones I've tried over the years, I like these ones the best. Now I use them every 3 to 5 inches along the side of the frame to attach the silk. In centimetres, that's more somewhere between 7 and 12 centimetres. Just depends on the size of the frame actually. Also remember to remove all the loose threads so that dye doesn't run with wild abandon down loose threads and attach to other parts of your white silk. So, you need to draw your design. Some people like to sketch on paper first, then attach the sketch to the back of the silk and draw with pencil onto the silk. You just choose the method which you prefer. Try them all, work out which one suits you best. Some people like to draw freehand onto the silk with the outliner, like I do, but then I've been doing this for many years, so that just happens to be the way that I prefer now. In the beginning, I did it the way everybody else did it. So while you're using the squeezy outliner bottle, remember to wipe the nib with paper towel to remove any drips that may have accumulated. You don't want those accidentally falling onto your white silk while you're drawing. You might also need to rest your wrist on an extra piece of wood if required whilst drawing. This will give you greater control, and it also means that your arm won't be so tired. You need to allow the outline to dry. Remember to follow the manufacturer's instructions for your outliner. Okay, now we're ready to be painting the silk. This question I am asked all the time. Do I paint the background first or last? And I have to say, it doesn't really matter. That's entirely up to you. After you've painted a few projects, you'll get to work out what suits you best. Just paint carefully and not too close to the outline. Let the silk dye do its job by flowing along the threads of the silk. If you use silk paint, it won't flow the same way that silk dye does. If you're using dye like I do, just remember, don't get too close to the edges. Let the silk dye flow towards the iron, and always remember, don't let the dyes dry whilst you're still painting unless you like the hard edge look or technique. Now, finishing the silk painting. Allow the silk to dry, then remove the push pins and prepare for steaming. Now, silk dyes generally require steaming or setting. Please follow the manufacturer's instructions on the silk dye bottles. Silk paints, on the other hand, may require other setting instructions. It could be ironing, it could be a bath that you need to place the silk into, but you won't know the right way to do it unless you read and follow the silk paint manufacturer's tips. Then wash as per the dye or paint manufacturer's instructions for the very best results. Colouring the outliner. Have you thought about doing this yourself? If you mix your own, you can make it the colour of any of your dyes. I love doing this. I've been doing it for years. You can use more than one outliner colour per project. You will, of course, need extra squeezy bottles and nibs. Now, as well as the squeeze bottles, try using the outliner with a brush or other technique, maybe a cotton bud or some kind of makeup stick that you might use to apply things. Try random patterns of outliner. Be brave, abstract and bold. You're only limited by your own imagination. Dream big, colour wild. This is a photo of a tumble of scarves that I've done over the years. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you'd like to learn silk painting online, just like some of these students have with me over the years, pop over to my website to find out how. You can see some of these gorgeous colours that I am able to get from my silk dyes. So you go to the website called howtopaintonsilkdotcom. This is one of my crazy designs I've done. You can sign up for the newsletter today. Okay, it's cheerio from me. My name is Teena Hughes, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Happy painting! Don't forget, go sign up for the newsletter, howtopaintonsilkdotcom.